This is what a baseball player sees from the batter's box. First base is there, second, third, home plate. So it's interesting that when you're standing in the batter's box, you're going to shift your weight. Your weight's going to shift from your back leg through to your front leg. And that weight distribution moves through your groin area. And it's how that force moves through your groin area that determines if you're going to have a groin pull or not. And so one of the things that's really important with developing as a total athlete, no matter what your sport, is to make sure that all of your inner thigh muscles are developed, as well as your gluteus medius, which is on the opposite end of your inner thigh muscles. So, here's the question. How are you training your groin muscles? Now, if you're watching this and you have a groin pull, what I would suggest is that you go and look at the picture that I posted, but I'll go over those muscles real quick. Your rectus abdominis, internal external obliques, your pectineus, which is the highest groin muscle. And then you have your abductor longus, brevis, magnus, and gracilis. All of those muscles are major players in a groin pull that you need to strengthen. The reason that you probably pulled your groin in the first place is because of the accumulation of micro tears. All right? Every time that you stretch, hold a stretch for over 10 seconds, over 2 seconds, you're going to lead to micro tears. Any time that you burst out of this box and run down the first base, or if you're a football player and you make a hard cut, or if you're a soccer player and you kick the ball tremendously hard and run and change directions, any of those type of activities are going to cause small micro tears. There's no problem in that. The problem is, what do you do with them? If you put them in ice, that doesn't necessarily help. If you put heat on them, it doesn't necessarily help. What helps the most that I've found is to move those muscles through a gentle range of motion to increase the blood flow and help those micro tears, micro traumas to heal. So if you have a growing injury, here's the key. 2 areas that you need to focus on. One is transverse abdominals. Okay? Understand how they work and where they are and what they do. Okay? And then in addition to the transverse abdominis, you have your gluteus medius. If you understand those 2 muscles and you develop them from a strength standpoint as well as from a flexibility standpoint, you will definitely be a happy athlete. Okay? So in closing, it's important that you synergistic. It's called synergy. Like when you run from home plate to first base, you have something called a gait. And if your gait is not fully developed, that means that basically your muscles are off, your ratios are off. So you need to really develop the ratio of your muscles. And by doing that, that's going to make sure that you're a well-balanced athlete. And that's what I help athletes do, not only from a flexibility standpoint, but from a micro strength standpoint, and from an explosive standpoint, and from recovery. And what you do between your workouts is just as important as what you do in your workouts. So anyway, I'm going to check out. I'm going to go shoot some hoops. I'm going to find out what's going to happen tonight with the heat and this guy. So I'm checking out of here. Have a great day.